The Jets have a chance at one of the best coaches this cycle. Let's get into it.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
You're fucking wrong!
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your friggin' podcast, people. Welcome to the program. There's a full article in the YouTube description down below if you'd like to read ahead in class and catch up on this topic of interest. But also, we want to flip the switch. Our Boy Green emoji contest continues throughout this month. Whoever gifts the most memberships, and you gift channel memberships, that's an option when you're watching on YouTube. Whoever gifts the most by the end of the month will win our emoji contest. It's a highly competitive contest going on right now. And some additional rules, because I've had some questions from people. This can be an emoji contest for yourself. You can gift this emoji to somebody else if you see fit. So it's all up to you, people, on what you decide to do with this power. Again, if you can't give channel membership, some people have problems doing that. You can super chat in. Just keep this in mind that we count it on a membership basis. Every Boy Green Coffee Club membership is $2.99, so try to factor that into your super chats. And every Boy Green Coffee Club membership price gifted will give you a raffle ticket as well into our contest at the end of the month. We'll be giving away a big prize pack. Jersey, autograph merch, and all kinds of other fun jazz as well. So the number one most gifted person will get their own emoji prize, and then everything else will be random. If you have at least one ticket to the dance, you have a chance at winning the entire prize pack. So I'd highly recommend to any of the people that enjoy watching my show to at least gift one channel membership this month, because you always want a chance at the dance. Again, obviously the people that gift more have a better chance, but if you have a ticket, a chip at the table, that works pretty good too. Shout out here to the top gifters so far. Number one Austrian Jet fans at 22. Our guy Chef Kevin Gilbert's at 20 memberships gifted this month. For Lily and Big D is also at 20 memberships gifted this month. MFC's at 17, and FL Phil 98's at a 15 pack, baby. So it's a hot and heavy contest. We're still a couple weeks left to go in the month of December, baby. So let's keep it cooking. But let's get into it here, and it is Mike Vrabel. This is a topic I wanted to get into before. Well, we couldn't get into it because StreamYard had national issues, so that kind of prevented this from happening. This was from Rich Cimini on the Flight Deck podcast last week. And here's what he had to say about old Mike Vrabel. Quote, I want to start with Mike Vrabel, who I think should be at or near the top of the Jets list. Now, many people assume that Vrabel wouldn't even consider the Jets because what is he going to do? He's going to call up one of his mentors, Bill Belichick, and ask him his opinion of the Jets. We know what Bill Belichick is going to say. He's going to trash the Jets and say, don't take that job if it's offered. But I've talked to people who know Vrabel, and he has told friends that he would consider the Jets as a possibility as long as he likes the GM that they pick. So he says he doesn't care what Belichick thinks. He will judge the situation based on its own merit. And quick timeout, by the way, let's congratulate Bill Belichick on going to North Carolina as their next head coach. And yes, as number one Austrian Jet fan just said, Michael Lombardi is the general manager of North Carolina football. There you go. But I'd like to remind everyone that may not know this. With Bill Belichick going to college to be the North Carolina head coach at the ripe age of 72, that means, folks, for those counting at home, Bill Belichick's last loss in the NFL as a coach was to the New York Jets. You know, people talk, because right now the Jets are eliminated from playoff contention. And people say, some fans like, Paul, these are meaningless wins. We don't want to win these games. We want to lose. And it affects draft position and all this stuff. I will tell you, there is no game I wanted to win more than last year, regular season finale, Jets-Patriots, the rumor that it could be Bill Belichick's final game. Of course, there was the long-ass Patriots winning streak against the Jets, Bill Belichick's potential final game. For all those reasons, I wanted it. And boy, is that all the sweeter as we continue to get away from it. Again, I get it. people will laugh. Patriot fans will go like, "You're 3-10. Shut up." Okay, we are 3-10, and it sucks. But boy, that Bill Belichick's last loss in the NFL, likely ever now that he's going to college on a 3-year deal for $30 million, $10 million per, and at that point he'd be 75 years of age. I doubt there's another Bill Belichick journey back, but hey, you never know. The NFL's a weird place. But I love that his final loss was to the New York Jets. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yes. And by the way, for those asking, yes, Bill Belichick and the North Carolina Tar Heels are coming here to Syracuse in my backyard in the Dome in 2025. So I'm going to see Bill Belichick on the sideline. That's going to be weird here in college football. All of it's still sort of bizarre, to be honest with you. But hey, there's something. Absolutely. Let me say this on the Mike Vrabel thing and why this may be a big point of interest. So Woody Johnson bought the team, and his first coach, not counting that other guy, his first coach was Al Groh, okay, in the year 2000. Everyone get some Al Groh love, which, by the way, is still alive. He's 80 years of age. That's wonderful. But here was the problem with Al Groh. He was a first-time head coach. He was promoted. He was the Jets linebacker coach from 97 to 99 and got promoted to head coach for that season in 2000. So a first-time head coach was Al Groh, the first coach of the Woody Johnson era. Then you go to the next guy. Yes, Herm Edwards, baby, who also was a first-time head coach with the Jets from 2001 to 2005. So Herm Edwards, that was his first whack at the piñata. Are you sensing a trend here, people? Let's go next on the list. After Herm Edwards, we went to, of course, the wonderful Eric Mangini, first-time head coach with the New York Jets, coming over from the New England Patriots from 2006 to 2008. Then we go, of course, to one of our favorites, old Rex Ryan, Sexy Rexy. Again, first-time head coach with the New York Jets from 2009 to 2014. Then we go to Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles. Yes, Todd Bowles. Don't we miss those days? No, not really. And then you go through his career, a very long career as an assistant, starting back from 97, finally gets his whack at the piñata, first-time head coach, 2015 to 2018 with the New York Jets. Okay. Now, Adam Gase is the only one of this group, believe it or not, that was a head coach previously. Adam Gase was a head coach for the Miami Dolphins. And obviously, we just had Robert Sauer, who's also a first-time head coach. But Adam Gase was a head coach prior to the Jets. He was a head coach for 3 years in the division with the Miami Dolphins. His first year was great, 10-6, not bad, second place. They got to the playoffs. They lost that game. And then he was 6-10, 7-9, and then the Jets hired him for the 7-9 and 2-14 seasons. So believe it or not, Adam Gase is the only head coach during the Woody Johnson era that's been a head coach before. And he also has another distinction. He's the only offensive coach that Woody Johnson's hired. So Woody Johnson checked two things off the bucket list in the head coaching search in his history over the last 24 years, 25 seasons. And that is, he's only hired one offensive coach. That was Adam Gase. He's only hired one retread. That was Adam Gase. Interesting. So heading into this cycle with the Mike Vrabel thing as a possibility, it might be pretty compelling. It might be pretty compelling for the Jets to hire a Mike Vrabel who's done it before, and it has done it before at an incredibly high level. Taking the Tennessee Titans to the AFC Championship game with friggin' Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. Everyone's question will be who is his offensive coordinator, but I do find it interesting that you notice these trends in the Woody Johnson hiring process, which makes sense why he's bringing more guys in the room, like the 33rd team, to provide even more data, more insights, more information, to try to get it right. After all these years. So it's interesting. So two things look like potentials to circle. One, a retread, which the Jets have not dipped their toes in a lot, or offense, or both, potentially. Obviously, there's not, I know a lot of people aren't loving this, but Arthur Smith is offensive guy and retread, so they could dip their toes back in that water. Not something I would necessarily advocate for, but that's a possibility, obviously. But I think one of those two waters to swim in may be the best approach for the Jets to zig instead of zag. Either get an offensive guy, because I think we're all kind of sick and tired for defensive guys over and over and over again. Defense guys coming in, hard-nosed defense in this. And again, we'd love the defense to return to its glory days. The defense has been trash this year. But I think a lot of us just want points. So even if the defense is shitty, if we're putting up points, that's different. We haven't had that before. Or a guy who's done it before where it's not a mystery, where he's learning on the job. A Robert Saleh, Todd Bowles, Rex Ryan, where, again, it went a lot better for him early than later. Yeah, that'd be nice. R&R says we need a real head coach, not a babysitter. Well, that part would help. And Mike Vrabel, he's a man. He's a man's man. He's not getting messed around. He's going to let his opinion be known on subject matter, which might be uncomfortable for Woody Johnson, but he's going to be a straight shooter. And like I said, he's done it before. That part is interesting for the Mike Vrabel crowd of potentially swimming in those waters. Mike Vrabel, obviously an accomplished guy, played in the NFL for a long time, 3-time Super Bowl champion. There's a lot to the Mike Vrabel resume that how could you not like it? But like I said, the thing I like most about it is the no BS. I like that about him. He is an aggressive guy, and that rubs some people the wrong way. Currently serving as a coaching and personnel consultant with the Cleveland Browns. That's where he went after the Tennessee Titans. He was the Titans coach from 2018 to 2023. Again, his playing career resume is off the charts. 3-time Super Bowl champion. He's a former All-Pro, former Pro Bowler, All-Decades team, anniversary team, dynasty team, team Hall of Fame for the New England Patriots, all that crap. An All-American in college, 2-time Big Ten D Lineman of the Year, and Ohio State Hall of Fame, and all this other stuff. Coach of the Year, by the way, in 2021, a former Coach of the Year. The guy that knows what the hell he's doing and knows what the hell he wants. He's an imposing guy, too. 6'4", 270 pounds. He's a big boy. But he knows he was in 3 different stops in his career. Most people just remember him for the Patriots, but he actually started his career with the Pittsburgh Steelers and then ended it with the Chiefs, believe it or not. And in his coaching career, whether it was college, where he started off at Ohio State, had some run in Houston, had some run, obviously, with the Tennessee Titans, and then most recently with the Browns. Here are his records in his seasons. 9-7, 9-7, 11-5, 12-5. Then he finished off 7-10, 6-11. But think about that 4-year run. Like, we overlooked that a lot. And he won the division twice in those 4 years. He won it in 2020 and 2021. He won the division. We haven't won the division since 2002. But look at that run. We have had one winning season in the last 14 years, people. One winning season in the last 14 seasons. One. He had 4 in a row to kick off. He got hired and had 4 winning seasons in a row. 9-7, 9-7, 11-5, 12-5. In his second year, he went to the AFC Championship game. Not quite Rex in the first year, but went to the AFC Championship game in his second year and went to the playoffs 3 years in a row from 2019 to 2021. Again, there's just a lot to like about the guy. Again, I mentioned all the reasons why offense and all that would be sexy. It would be great to just score points and have some offensive wizard at the head coaching position and know you got that part on lock. But the other thing to know you'd have on lock, whether offense, defense, special teams, or any designation, is knowing a guy can do the job. And Mike Vrabel, we can talk about a lot of guys, and we will. We'll vet all kinds of candidates on this show. But I'll tell you this right now. We know Mike Vrabel could get the job done. Hey, baby, Ed Vargas with a 5-pack combination, baby. Okay, we see you, Ed. Beautiful. Oh, yeah, baby. We love to see it. One more time. I don't think I heard that chime quite as well. And how about one of these? I love this. Can we bring that back, by the way? Can we bring that back? Yeah, we'll try to see what we can do there. 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Papa Jet 73, Keenan Good, Jay Long, Thomas Rossi, and Bino. All now members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to our guy, Ed Vargas, baby, for his 5-pack. Ed, by the way, getting in the race himself. He has 15 memberships gifted so far this month, which gives him, of course, 15 raffle tickets. That's always good. And also, he's in the emoji race as well. It is getting hot and heavy. And Ed, we appreciate it, buddy. Yes, frickin' sir. The holiday season with Boy Green. Hey now. Hey, Paul, have an awesome day. Thanks, brother. I hope you and your wife do too. It's wonderful meeting you guys at the Jets-Patriots game. Absolute pleasure. Thank you. Let's see some other. Taylor Sterling says Vrabel, Flores, Rex, Gruden in that order. Okay, let's go through this. So Vrabel, love. Flores, I like that he's a former head coach. I like that he's had success. Those are two good things. I like all the things he's doing currently in Minnesota. Pretty good. Pretty good. Good defensive guy. He's also a no-nonsense guy, so like Vrabel, so that part checks off. Again, it's hard for me to get past the relationships with players. And there was some rubbing. We just talked to a Miami Dolphins guy, what was that, last week? And he talked about some of the player issues that Flores has had. Again, he could have learned from it. He could have gotten better from it. I hope he has. We'll see. Rex Ryan, I had him on my top 3 coaches to avoid because, again, it's an ex-girlfriend. Not sure if those are – I'm not sure if you should send that text at 2 a.m. if you catch my drift. And then John Gruden would be fun. I love John Gruden. I love his passion and everything else, but we'll see if he gets back in the NFL. He currently has that lawsuit against the NFL, so not sure how that affects it. I am not sure. Let's see. Taylor Sterling. If there's any way to stack them, like Flores is DC and assistant head coach and Rex is head coach and moves to the front office after a year. Yeah, to me, I feel like if you're going to do any of that hoopla, just hire Flores. Or just, to pass the baton is a little circusy. To hire Rex Ryan for a year to then hand it off to Flores. Flores is probably like, why do I have to be handed off? Why can't I just get it from the get-go? That could cause some drama. I would do that in Madden, but I don't know. Again, Rex Ryan's a passionate guy. I question the staff he could put together and things of that nature. If you bring him on as a consultant to the front office, like, you know that he wants the Jets to turn it around, so maybe his insights and things would be valuable in some way. I'm fine with that. I just don't know as a head coach again. I think we tried it, and it was fun, but I don't know if we could just go back to that, to be honest. NC Green, member of the Boy Green Catholic Club. Breece Hall would love Vrabel. He'd finally get 20 carries a game, not 20 carries once a season. And to be honest, with him struggling with this knee injury, which is the latest conversation, is Jeff Ulbrich yesterday said he's struggling. Let me just call a quick TO here. Let me get this straight. Interim head coach Jeff Ulbrich says Breece Hall is struggling with his knee injury. Then what the hell are we doing? What the hell are we doing? If Breece Hall's struggling, shut his ass down. Come on, man. Jets, what are we doing? And maybe you're just having some sort of weird gamesmanship with the 3-10 Jaguars, which seems a little weird, but whatever, I guess. Like, come on, man. Put Breece on ice. If he's struggling with his knee and he does something serious, I will never forgive this coaching staff, although they don't care about whether I forgive them or not because they're not going to be here next year. But come on, man. Somebody's got to step up. Whether it's Breece himself stepping up to the plate saying, man, I don't know if I can go, guys, or the team looking out for your players and saying, hey, man, like Breece, he's hurting right now. And we're 3-10. Put this man on ice. His future is more important to us than this mini stretch to finish off the season. So unbelievable when you hear this Breece stuff. Jeff Ulbrich has said a lot of stupid stuff at the pressers. And it's been interesting. Brandon said, can't wait to get rid of Keith Carter. Yeah, all the coaches are gone. Downing, Hackett, Carter, Ulbrich, all those guys are going to be gone. So you have nothing to worry about there. Johnny Football, Rick Spielman says it's Aaron Glenn. I doubt that he came out and said he's the favorite, but I will tell you this. Maybe we'll do another show on this, but Rich Cimini had a nugget on his podcast that dropped this week on Aaron Glenn. Maybe we'll save that for the show tomorrow to talk about it, as Aaron Glenn as a candidate. You guys can listen to Flight Deck Podcast. All kinds of juicy nuggets in there. We'll talk about them. But, yeah. Aaron Glenn, he's growing on me. That's what I will tell you. Like I said, we could dive into him because there's a lot of layers to get to with Aaron Glenn. So we'll probably talk about that on the show tomorrow, but he's growing on me. At first I was like, I'm that girl in the GIF where she's like, you know, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes. So, Aaron Glenn's grown on me. Leadership, all those sorts of reasons, turning around the culture there in Detroit land. I mean, the culture was as bad as it's been anywhere. The line sucked. They had an 0-16 season, for Pete's sake, people. That led them, of course, to Matt Stafford in that entire era. But, yeah, they were 0-16 once, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, which is pretty crazy. Brandon A says, draft Will Campbell and re-sign Morgan Moses as a swing tackle. That'd be an interesting combination. I wouldn't hate it. Like I said, Morgan loves being here. That would make a lot of sense. And Ricky approves. Ricky New York approves, excuse me. Brandon Ace just made two of the best, most intelligent comments back-to-back that I've read in the chat in quite some time. There you go. Brandon Ace, you get the stamp of approval from Ricky New York. Love to see it. Easy says, I just want to see Rex Ryan back as part of the Jets organization because of his fandom and passion. I agree. In a way, that he could be a supporter of some kind. Again, he wants the Jets to turn this around. I'm not sure if I want that a head coach, but somewhere with the team. Like I said, if it's some sort of a consultant role or part of a board of directors or something. I don't know. I'm spitballing here, but yeah, sure. Yeah. Alan believes Aaron Glenn is the favorite right now. Very curious who he could employ as OC, especially if BJ leaves and Detroit elevates Engstrand. Yeah, let me look at the Detroit Lions staff real quick. Let's take a gander at their staff. That would make a lot of sense. Again, from a salesmanship thing, right? Aaron Glenn is part of a winner with Detroit. That would sell well here in Jets land. He's coming home. He's a former New York Jets first-round pick. I imagine that would play very nicely. And let me see. So here's the Lions staff. Here are some of the offensive guys. Okay, so you got Scotty Montgomery. He's the assistant head coach and running backs coach. Assistant quarterbacks coach is JT Barrett. He's a former Ohio State quarterback. Quarterback coach, Mark Brunell. You guys all remember him. Maybe he could come over. To Alan's point, Tanner Engstrand is the passing game coordinator. Perhaps he could be elevated to replace. And then you got a bunch of other guys here. Antoine Randall is a wide receiver coach. He's a former wide receiver. That makes sense. Assistant offensive line coach is Steve Oliver. Tight ends coach Steve Hayden. Offensive line coach Hank Fraley. And the assistant wide receiver coach Seth Ryan, of course, the son of Rex Ryan over there in Detroit land. Those are all the offensive guys. I don't know. There's no one that stands out to me outside of Engelstead, I suppose, who's the passing game coordinator, who would be the direct line. And again, he doesn't have to pluck from the Lions staff. I'm sure he's been thinking about this for a long time. So there might be other people that he's connected to. Remember, for Aaron Glenn, he started off his coaching career in 2014. He was an assistant DB coach with Cleveland for 2 years. He was a Saints coach for 5 years. So he's got connections with the Saints. He's got connections with the Browns. And obviously, most recently, he's with the Detroit Lions. So he has a lot of connections around the league. So I wouldn't be surprised with his ability to garner a staff. Obviously, the offensive hire would be incredibly important if you hire Aaron Glenn, who's his offensive guy, is, Captain Obvious Doy. I mean, that would be incredibly important. We got 400 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video. Hit subscribe, baby. Spread the gospel of all things Boy Green Daily. And like I said, if you gift a channel membership at some point this month of December, you are entered into our raffle contest where we'll be giving away all kinds of fun, cool prizes at the end of the month, like a Hall of Fame jersey, a Jets jersey of a player who's in the Hall of Fame. Wink. There's a little hint, perhaps, that's in the prize giveaway. Autograph merch and other really cool stuff from all my connections and my Jets personal vault. Yeah, baby. Let's see. Chirby says Ulbrich learned the stupid stuff from Salah. Like, for instance, here's another stupid thing. Okay, let's go to this. Why not? So Hassan Reddick, I think we can all agree that's been an epic disaster of god-awful proportions. Yet Jeff Ulbrich was asked about Hassan Reddick. Let's get you that video real quick. Why not? Sometimes Jeff Ulbrich says stuff. It's not just sometimes. He says it a lot. A lot of dumb stuff that makes you go, is this guy ever going to be a legitimate head coach, or was this kind of like his best shot? Because, like I said, I think we can all agree that Hassan Reddick's been an epic disaster. But according to Jeff Ulbrich, okay, this is what Jeff Ulbrich had to say. Apparently the Jets had gotten everything they would have hoped for from Hassan Reddick. What? I'm sorry? Who now? the Jets have gotten exactly what they were hoping they would get from Hassan Reddick, who came in the middle of the season, caused all the drama. And let's hear from the coach, Jeff Ulbrich, yesterday. What?
With Hassan, I mean, obviously this is not the production anyone anticipated from him. Looking back, having the benefit of hindsight, do you think it was just such a long layoff for him that it was almost impossible for him to be the player he was?
You know, you might say that had I, put on the tape and I saw a guy that looked rusty or slow or not explosive, but everything that we thought we were getting with him, everything that we had seen on tape that made us pursue him as hard as we did, has showed up. It's just, it's been a byproduct of a lot of things. Maybe, just still getting familiar with what we do. So I don't think it's a physical thing so much. And then the ops, like for pass rushers to get production, you need to have substantial leads, and you need to have leads throughout the game so that you can really let your rushers go. And we haven't had enough of those opportunities for him and for our entire D-line for that matter.
Excuses. Hassan Reddick has one, let me not over-exaggerate. Hassan Reddick has half a sack and one quarterback hit in 6 games. Half a sack and one quarterback hit in 6 games. This guy's been Captain Invisible. He's borrowed Harry Potter's invisibility cloak. Woo-hoo-hoo! We can't see Hassan Reddick. Where's Hassan Reddick? I have no idea. The Jets have gotten exactly what they thought they were going to get on tape. Come on, man. Come on. Jeff. Come on, man. That may be one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. What are we talking about here? Half a sack and one quarterback hit. You're like, yep, exactly what we thought we were getting on tape. No. It's okay to admit that you didn't get, he's making excuses. The production hasn't been there. Well, it could be familiarity. He doesn't know our scheme because he missed half the season. It could be ops. How many leads have we had? I mean, that's a tough pickle. I mean, there's been plenty of situations where the Jets have had leads and he's done nothing. The Jets had an 8-point lead against Miami. You knew what they were going to do on that final drive, and a whole lot of nothing. It didn't matter. There's been other moments this season, especially during this Hassan Reddick run, where they've had leads, and then you're like, well, sample size, this, that, or the okay. All right. Stupid. I can't wait for everyone saying, I can't wait for Keith Carter to be gone. I can't wait for this guy. I can't wait for Hassan Reddick to be gone. See ya. And if he kills it with another team, awesome. The Jets coaching staff sucks then. I don't know. Just unbelievable. Get out. Taylor Sterling. Glenn jumps up my list. If we get some of the Lions front office as GM, I hope it's John Dorsey. Again, that would make a lot of sense. That they would be connected. Not just Glenn and Dorsey, but whoever the head, like where the Jets have messed up in the past, Taylor, is Todd Bowles and Mike McCagnon had never met. Apparently, they might have met on some high school field like 1,000 years ago, but come on. They didn't know each other, and it was an awkward, arranged marriage. We need the GM and the head coach to be on the same wavelength, the same page. I'm fine with the old structure where it's owner, GM, head coach, where there's like a pyramid. I'm fine with that. But they got to know each other. They got to be, speaking the same language. There's got to be some of that continuity there. So I would imagine Glenn would probably be suited with one of the Lions guys. Now, that may not be a slam dunk, but that would be my assumption. I imagine maybe Ben Johnson's paired with one and Aaron Glenn's paired with the other because you got Ben Johnson, you got Agnew, you got John Dorsey, and Agnew. So you have one for each potentially to split it up. The Lions are going to start getting vultured. They haven't been, which has been pretty impressive, that Aaron Glenn had been there and Ben Johnson had been there. Their staff has not been picked apart yet, and that may benefit them as a potential win the Super Bowl this year. But, yeah, man. New York Rican Jets on Twitter says Vrabel would be great if you could find a great DC. That'd be the right move. I wouldn't be surprised by that. I'm not sure if Vrabel called defenses when he was there. That I'm unaware of. I'd have to dig in deeper. But I will tell you, we'll try to dig in on some of these candidates. I got a few people around the league that know some of these guys. We'll bring them on and kind of vet them out here. Once we kind of get finished with the season, we'll have a little bit of time, I think, before they hire some of these guys. And then we'll have some sense of direction for understanding the search. FFL 98, no crazy schemes or too many moving parts. Pick a GM, Agnew. Let GM pick head coach, Glenn, and move forward, not back. Yeah, I think the most appropriate thing to do is go GM first and coach. Again, it's more difficult to hire a coach because there's all these layers in the NFL, and they're trying to force teams, long story short, to take their time in the searching, hiring process. They don't want someone to hire some, brothers, cousins, nephews, Gadna 2 days in, and they didn't really go through the process. It cheats the system and the Rooney Rule and everything else. By forcing teams to really vet and go through guys, that it hopefully gives them a more diverse experience. And I would say on the other piece, for the GMs and hiring that portion of it, it's a lot looser than the coaches. So, yeah, I would assume, and that based on all reporting, it seems like a GM will be hired first. And I'd imagine that's going to happen somewhere in the next month and a half. I don't think it's going to be on this front end. I don't think it's going to be before the season's over, but somewhere in the mid-January range, we could see that guy mid to third week of January. That might be the sweet pocket of talking to enough people. So that'll be interesting. Keep an eye on that. Lawrence Yance on YouTube. I think Vrabel with this same exact team would have easily had the Jets in a wild card. Probably more think he would have had no qualms with sitting Tyron Smith or Tom Rodgers to run the damn place. That's true. He's a straight shooter, which again could rub some people the wrong way. But I think us Jet fans don't give a shit about people potentially being rubbed the wrong way. We just want results. So if it takes Vrabel saying, hey, enough of your bullshit, pal, this, or Tyron, get your ass to the bench. Because, to your point, the current iteration of the Jets offensive line, minus Tyron Smith, is the best offensive line we've seen, no offense to Tyron Smith. So if someone would have had maybe a quicker trigger there, quite frankly, a quicker trigger all season long. Think about it. Kicker, right? We rode the Greg Zuerlein train way too long. That cost us the season. Tyron Smith rode that way too long. Excuse me. Should have went with Olu Fashanu. Rode the Nathaniel Hackett train way too long. Should have went to Downing sooner. I mean, there's just so many red flags. So you're right. Someone with a no bullshit, doesn't give a flying hoot, kind of like, let's do what's best for business here. You're right. That may have been better for the team. Smoke Champ says, I'm still pissed off at Aaron Glenn for getting caught with the fake spike. Yeah, for those who don't know, the fake spike Dan Marino, or those who have forgotten, Aaron Glenn was in defense on the play. It's easy for us to kind of call bullshit now. I mean, we have never really seen the fake spike before that point, or that as an option. So he was caught with his pants down, and I'm sure that's a moment that's going to be brought up if he's hired at his introductory press conference. It's either a little ribbing like, hey, what happened there, pal? Or coming back home. All of that will probably be brought up. Taylor Sterling. Is Glenn ready? Maybe he could be the assistant head coach. To me, Taylor, if we're being honest, Aaron Glenn has an awesome job with the Lions. He would not leave the Lions for some assistant to the regional manager. I'm not trying to be insulting about the assistant head coach title. A lot of people have it in the league. But, if he's come, it's to be a head coach. Plain and simple. Is he ready? That's a question for all of us. The Jets interviewed him in the 2021 cycle when they hired Saleh, and now he's more established and everything else. Is he ready? Shoot, it seems like he's as ready as he's going to be. I think there's a fine line between waiting too long and maybe you never get your chance, and waiting too early and then blowing your one chance. Because kind of once you blow it, you normally don't get another whack at the pinata. Although Adam Gase got another whack at the pinata with the Jets, so you never know. But to the point, is he ready? He seems as ready as he's going to be. And again, I think there's a 0% chance he'd leave an awesome gig with the Lions where they're winning games and divisions and competing for the Super Bowl to come over here to be the assistant head coach. To be the head coach? Absolutely. Assistant head coach? Absolutely not. He would not come over here. If we got to be honest with ourselves. NC, unlikely, but Rex's DC would be nice. Again, Vance Joseph, if you are rooting for that, you need two things here. First off, you need a head coach who doesn't give a shit. That has his own, he's not passive, right? Because Rex Ryan, the world revolves around Rex Ryan. He is a charismatic, explosive personality. And if you have a wimpy head coach who's very quiet or reserved, Rex Ryan's supernova could overwhelm that head coach. But if you have a Vrabel, I don't even know if Vrabel and Rex would fit together as a pair, but just as an example, Vrabel doesn't give a shit about any of that stuff. So he would be resistant to the Rex Ryan effect. Like that wouldn't bother him, I would imagine. But certain other head coaches, I could totally see it bothering them, where they're like, "Whoa, this Rex Ryan personality is much bigger than mine." I could see that affecting him. Didn't Scotty Montgomery play with the Jets? I can't remember. Let me check that real quick. Which could be another, hey, come on over. Let me see. Old Scotty. Scotty's 46. All right, let's see. No, he did not. He never played with the Jets. He played for the Panthers, the Denver Broncos, the Raiders, and the Georgia Force. He had a very brief NFL career, and he didn't coach with the Jets either. So, no, nothing for Scotty Montgomery, who, again, is currently the assistant head coach and running backs coach. No direct tie that I can see on the surface with the New York Jets, Allen. So no Scotty Montgomery with the Jets. That didn't ring any bells initially. I'm like, oh, did he? And no. All right. NC says, stop thinking offense or defense. We need a leader who hires good people on both sides. That would help too. Sure. Yeah. I'm all aboard. Yeah. Let's get people in here that could get the job done. Dylan says of JetNation.com, Ulbrich did the NFL favor show that he is not ready for a head coaching job. It's too bad. I like Ulbrich, the guy, but I mean, good Lord have mercy. This has been rough. I just all of it. I can't believe it. I can't, like, the words are like, what the? I just don't understand. Hennessy's Reddick will play for the league minimum next year. Nah, it'll probably be more than that. You're probably joking, but he'll probably get more than that. He'll probably get, again, it's funny. I think it was Joe Caparosa who said this. He went from getting paid like TJ Watt money to Jacob Martin money. Like, who? We'll see. Allen said, I actually thought Anthony Beck was going to get the West Virginia job. He did not, which he's been named as a quote-unquote dark horse for the Jets. I wouldn't want to hear Anthony Beck. No offense. I don't want him to go from Jets radio voice to Jets head coach. There's just not enough meat on those bones. No offense to Anthony Beck, one of the 4 horsemen, right? The 4 first-round picks of the 2000 draft. Obviously, he's got Jets ties, of course. There's not enough on the Anthony Beck resume. Excuse me. Let me just make sure I have it correct here on Anthony Beck in his coaching tenure. Okay, he's 47. Yeah, his run as a coach is a tight ends coach with the San Diego Fleet, and then a head coach of the St. Louis Battlehawks. There's just not enough meat on the bone. He's just too raw to me. So no offense, Anthony. Loved you with the Jets. Oh, nice career. It was in the NFL for 10, 11 years. Very nice. Jets 2000, 2004. Buccaneers 2005, 2007. St. Louis Rams when they were still the St. Louis Rams. Cardinals, Chiefs. Like, he had a nice NFL career. Made some good money, I'm sure. But as a Jets head coach, absolutely not. And I'm not saying that's what anyone's saying. I heard Rich Samiti say it's a very dark horse is Anthony Beck, but absolutely not. Phil says, who did worse for their career, Ulbrich or Reddick? Well, I'd say Reddick, because Ulbrich's going to forever have a job. The NFL is a brotherhood, and once you have connections in the league, you're going to basically have a job until you're dead, as long as you don't burn bridges or do anything scandalous. Like, Reddick is on borrowed time. He's getting older. He's 30. He's coming off this shitty year where he skipped half of it and the other half he hasn't showed up for. So Reddick is the one who's more drastically affected. Ulbrich, if we're being specific, for Ulbrich head coaching career, obviously Jeff Ulbrich did much worse than Reddick did for a player because Reddick's going to have a job. But Ulbrich just coaching career, coaching anything, Ulbrich's going to have a job until he's dead. Good for Ulbrich, man. Hey, I've got no problem with the brotherhood that is. Hey, it is what it is. That's our real world, man. It's connections. Who you know. He's going to be the DC of the Dolphins. He's going to be the DC of the 49ers. He's going to be the DC of the Vikings. He's going to be the DC of somewhere. Or I think he's going to be a DC immediately, but maybe even he's on a lesser level of an assistant to this or that. He's going to have a job. Let's go to NC. Jets drafting Abdul Carter. In the Field Yates mock draft, Abdul Carter was not on the board when the Jets were picking. They went Mason Graham. But I'm all for a win now player, man. The Jets need help in a lot of places. So there's a case to be made for a quarterback if they have the insert pick. There's a case to be made for a win now player like a Mason Graham or an Abdul Carter. Again, we're going to get more into the draft as we get closer, for sure. Will Johnson's another one that Alan mentioned. Yeah, there's a offensive lineman. Will Johnson is someone else. Yeah. Let's see. Let's get to a few more comments and we'll open up the phone lines here in a second. Back to Dylan. This regime refused to be proactive, and that's what ruined them. Win-loss record would look better if they acted quicker. Absolutely. Yeah, we just talked about that. Absolutely. Unequivocally, it would. Unequivocally, it would. I'm catching up. I know I'm a little behind in the comments. Let me catch up here. BG, phone lines, please. These comments are killing me. Yeah, we'll get to the phone lines here in just a second. Yeah, why don't we just do it? Here we go. Oh, we got a YouTube super chat, and every time we get a YouTube super chat, we hear from my doctor, Zaraya Luna.
Wow.
Who's the best O-line and D-line coaches available, Easy asks. Well, I'll tell you this, Easy. First off, is it the best, and what does available mean? Like free agents that are not currently employed by anybody, or someone that can be wooed and lured over here? Because, you know, I think we all know Bill Callahan. Old Bill Callahan is the guy that I think is a absolute legend in this business. He is the best offensive line coach. But is he available? He's coaching with his son down there in Tennessee. I'd imagine not. So we got to kind of dig in on that. Carl Dunbar, the former Jet guy, way back when. Aaron Whitecotton, I actually like a lot. I would imagine this new staff coming in will not retain him. But it's a hard thing to answer because they also normally have to have connections to the current staff. But, you know, Bill Callahan's the best offensive line coach of all time. He might go into the Hall of Fame. Nick Mangold just started at the high school level, so maybe there will eventually be a path for him to go. But we need more love there. All right, why don't we do this? We'll play a quick cap song, and up next, we'll open up the phone lines. We've got nearly 600 people in the room, baby. Let's get freaky.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets. Boy Green.
Hep, sing your heart out, you handsome bastard. We love to see it. The phone lines are now open. That's a pinned comment on youtube.com/boygreen25. Feel free to call into the show. Get your voice heard, baby. Again, that's youtube.com/boygreen25. Pinned to the top of YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, we appreciate the support no matter where you're watching, for God's sakes, or just listening. We have a lot of audio-only listeners as well. But again, you have to hop on over to YouTube if you want to get involved, get engaged, get your participation trophy for today, for Pete's sake. Get out of bed and hop on over. Actually, you can do it from bed if you want. I mean, set the mood as far as I'm concerned. I don't judge. Hey, whatever you want to do. Works for me, baby. But make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, and like I said, get involved in the raffle contest by gifting a channel membership. Also get involved in the emoji contest, which is getting hot and heavy, baby. All right, let's go to the phone lines. We got our guy Hep here on the show. What's up, Hep?
Hey, Paul. Hey, fellas. I'm curious if we fall to the number. I don't think we're going to get the number 1 pick. I think the Giants probably have that.
Probably
sewn
true.
up.
Yeah.
But we could possibly get the 2nd pick.
Yes.
Now, if we get the 2nd pick and Cam Ward is available, do we take Cam Ward or do we go back and acquire some more draft picks?
The good news is, I think if we get the number 2 pick, it's a win-win scenario. Because you're at 2, to me, I'm with you. I think Cam Ward is the one that would slip, and Shedeur would go first to like a Giants team. I could totally see that Manning family doing all that business as it is with the Dion family. 100% could see that. Cam Ward's available. The Jets have their chance at the franchise quarterback that I think is he's intriguing, obviously, in this class. Or if you say, you know what, I don't know if we're ready yet, or whatever their answer is to the Cam Ward thing, someone else is. Quarterbacks are is a scarce property, that supply and demand, baby. Everyone wants one. The Jets could get a relative killing. It probably won't be RG3, 3 first-round picks because of the value of this class, but damn, I mean, to accelerate the rebuild, they're dropping from, because there's a lot of quarterback needy teams that would be within range, somewhere in that top
Right.
5, top 7. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
wouldn't have to drop very far. You'd pick up some assets and then get a win now player, and that's a win-win. So to be honest, maybe you're right. While technically speaking, according to the analytics, the Jets have this 2-something% chance to get the number 1 pick. It may be more realistic to get the number 2 pick potentially, and then everything opens up from there. To be honest, the Boy Scout hand up here, I'd be sort of intrigued by Cam Ward ourselves because quarterbacks are sexy and fixing it. And I'm seeing Washington draft Jaden Daniels. I'm like, holy freaking crap. Oh, that's what it's supposed to look like when you draft the quarterback in the top 3 of the draft? That sounds fun. So, yeah, I'd be very intrigued by it. But I think either way, it's a win-win because you can either trade the pick for a windfall, relatively speaking, or take your quarterback.
Right. Matt O'Leary was talking about a defensive tackle, a young kid, when we were picking at 6 or something like that. Around
Is that Mason Graham, the Michigan kid?
Yeah, yeah. And he was talking him up, and I was like, well, that sounds good. A high motor, big, not a lot of sacks, but a lot of pressures, and a big run stuffer. That's the thing.
I just keep hearing people say game wrecker. That's what I've heard a lot with this kid, Mason Graham, that they're talking about. I'm like, game wrecker, that sounds good to me. We need more of those on the team. That is for certain.
Yeah, next to Quincy, forget it. That would be a really nice thing to do.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Thanks, guys.
I love it. Hap, thanks for that. Thanks for the call, Hap. Happy holidays, brother. Yeah, Mason Graham's been a very popular mock draft pick. He was in the Field Yates ESPN mock draft. He was in the Fantasy Life mock draft as well. That's Matthew Berry's site that he owns. So, sure, again, there is a strong case to be made to get a win now. Because, if we're being honest, this quarterback class from a perception standpoint isn't great. Now, that doesn't mean it won't be great. Hey, the freaking Zach Wilson class was one of the greatest classes of all time. Move over 1983, Dan Marino. We got Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence. Get the hell out of here. That class freaking sucks. But we thought it was good. This class, everyone's like, it sucks. But then maybe it'll be good. I don't know. That's what they're paid to do. That's what they're paid to figure out. But it would be tempting to get a win-now player right now, like a Mason Graham, or again, people mentioned Abdul Carter, people mentioned Will Johnson, they mentioned the corner before. There's a lot of these pieces because the Jets need help in a lot of areas, okay? Not just quarterback. They need help in a lot of areas. So there is a compelling case to be made. You get one of those kind of guys, plug and play, and then kick the quarterback can down the road. All right, we'll just kind of hem and hot with Jordan Travis and Tyrod Taylor, and maybe another veteran comes in here, or some Jordan Travis-like rookie, a 3rd, 4th, 5th round pick, and then let's go to town and we'll try to figure out quarterback maybe in 2026 if necessary, if one of those options doesn't work out in the immediate. So there's a path for that for sure. All right, let's go back to the phone lines, baby. We got Ricky New York live here on the show. What's up, Ricky?
How's it going, Paul?
No, not too shabby.
When your daughter says, wow, it's awful cute, but I'm sitting here saying, wow, and I'm shaking my head. The hypocrisy is crazy. Wi-Fi, don't fail me now because I got something to say.
Oh, please do.
I have a question for the chat. I'm going to direct this at Matthias, who's been typing over and over and over again that he doesn't want a first-time head coach. There's been some speculation, some rumors circulating that Kyle Shanahan might get canned by San Francisco if their year keeps going badly. And my question to Matthias would be, would you want Kyle Shanahan if the Niners let him go? I'll give him a second to type his answer, although I have a feeling I know what it might be.
Sure.
You know what? The hell with that. I'm not even going to wait for him to answer.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you there's going to be several teams looking for head coaches this year. Back in 2017, there were a bunch of teams looking for head coaches. Mm-hmm. And the 49ers hired a first-time head coach. His name was Kyle Shanahan. At the same time, the Rams hired a first-time head coach. His name was Sean McVay. Mm-hmm. Two of the better offensive coaches in the entire NFL. And they were both first-time head coaches. So please, people, stop with the new first-time head coach nonsense, because that's exactly what it is. It's nonsense. As far as the offensive tackles in this class, Will Johnson, the kid from LSU, these are guys that all the draft experts, if you listen to them, are saying these guys might end up playing guard at the next level because they're not the clear-cut tackle prospects like we've had in past years. This class is not good when it comes to offensive tackles. No way I take one in the first round. I would absolutely take Will Johnson, the corner from Michigan, who's who I want. He's probably as close to can't miss as you're going to get in a draft pick. And as far as Mason Graham, yes, he's a game wrecker. However, people seem to be getting game wrecker and run stuffer confused. He's the disruptive pass rusher. He's not the most consistent in the rush. If it was me, I would take Will Johnson in the first. Then I would take our second. I would trade up in the second, maybe to the back end of the first, and take Tyleik Williams, the 6'6", 300 and something pound beast run stuffer from Ohio State. Right there, two cornerstone pieces that could be here for the next decade. Now, I want to say a few things about Aaron Glenn.
Okay.
Aaron Glenn, yes, I think he is ready to be a head coach. Like you said, he was with the Saints. He was with the Browns. Most importantly, he was with the Jets for years in our scouting department. He knows this organization from the inside. He has probably intimate knowledge of what some of our issues have been that maybe another coach might not. The other thing about that is Aaron Glenn has already said his dream job would be to coach the Jets. Probably because he was a Jet.
I'd imagine. Yeah.
But you know what? That type of enthusiasm, and you know what? He's not going to take a first-time, head coaching job so he can go someplace and fail. If he wants this job and he wants it that bad, you better believe that he's got something up his sleeve and he's got a plan with how he's going to attack it. And things like Kevin Mawai, the best center to ever play the game of football, was his teammate, who's the offensive line coach in Indy, would probably be heading back to New York.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and like you said, the offensive minds that he's worked with in Detroit, as well as his other stops, I bet you he's got a real nice list of who he would bring in here to be his supporting staff. So all that, no head coach, hey, how's Mike McDaniels doing with that high-powered offense in Miami? He's a first-time head coach too. That first-time head coach, it's nonsense. Stop it, people. Get a grip. I'm willing to listen to all sides of the argument, but do your homework first. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. And hey, I'm all on. You know what? I was a Ben Johnson guy at first, but dude, as time has gone on, and the more I keep hearing about Aaron Glenn and the more I keep looking into it, I'm going to tell you, everything that I'm hearing behind the scenes, Agnew and Glenn are like the front runners by a long shot.
Ooh, okay. Wow.
So anything can change in the meantime. Maybe, Vrabel or somebody else comes in and blows them away and things change. But as of now, those two look like the front runner, and I'm perfectly happy with that. One last thing, Brian Flores. Dude, Brian Flores didn't just piss off the players. He pissed off other coaches. He rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And that's one thing that, and this isn't just about coaches. This can go to parents. This can go to people in general. You'll find, if you really sit back and look, most people do the things they do, no matter how smart or how stupid, because they believe that the way of they're doing things is the right way to do it. Head coaches, you can multiply that by 20. Most head coaches think they're the smartest guy in the room all the time.
Yes.
With Brian Flores, did he learn something? Maybe. But you know what? At the end of the day, Tiger don't usually change its stripes. I'll say no for that one. So once again, just throwing in my 2 cents. But like I said, before you come in with harsh opinions, do your homework. I do.
There you go. Love it, Ricky. Thanks for the call, brother. And as NY Jets FL, we should get that on a t-shirt. Congrats on the Wi-Fi. It worked out very nicely. Very nice. Yeah, Austria Jet fan, Team No Flores. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Again, he's been a prior head coach before and has had some success, which is intriguing, of course. But the player and coaching relationship, as Ricky highlighted, a little concerning. Little concerning. Oh, my pop jumping in here. Ricky coming in hot. Jets don't need to worry about first-time head coach or recycle. They need the right one. They need to strike now with a hiring GM, pick head coach, and clean house on players. Yeah, that'll be coming sooner rather than later. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We've got NYJKO here on the show. What's up, Al?
Good morning, brother. How you doing, Paul?
Yeah, you're not too shabby. How are you?
I'm all right. I can't complain, but I'm gonna go over what he just said as far as our D tackles. I like the Johnson kid from Ohio State. He's a master man. He's a beast. He he can play both. To run and pass.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we're missing. We need someone opposite of Quentin Williams who could dominate their matchups 1-on-1.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down. As far as pass rusher, like I wouldn't draft Abdul Carter, even though he is a monster. I wouldn't waste a draft pick on the edge rusher. Jermaine Johnson's still young, but if they're in a sense like, let's just move on, it's a new regime, get him out of there, or whatever the case may be, then all right, fine. But I liked Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn's a good coach. Wherever style he went, he actually helped the players. From his times in New Orleans, you look it up, he actually had them being productive players. I would like to see, honestly, I wanted us to hire Bieniemy. I think Bieniemy should have been the head coach.
Well, he's available. He just got fired by UCLA, so he's available right now.
Yeah, I think that would be the greatest move we can make. Get him as the head coach, and I'm pretty sure Win wouldn't mind coming here being a DC. Bieniemy, he's an offensive mind. That's what we need. But in the first round, I will go with Will Campbell from LSU.
Okay.
Opposite of Olu Fashanu.
Sure.
Let's move on from Tyron Smith. Yeah, we tried it. It didn't work. Let's go younger on our offensive line. Let's build through the draft. Let's not get the scraps from free agency. Let's build through the draft. If you see, that's what Dallas did. And even with Minnesota, all those guys with their offensive line are homegrown names that they drafted and groomed. So, we got the pieces. I like Joe Timmon. It's still no room for growth with him. Vera Tucker, it's his first day he actually played a full year.
Yeah.
Fashanu, we see what he could do. He actually balled out in that Miami game. Then we got the right tackle and Will Campbell. Let's have them guys play together. Or honestly, I think that we should have let Carter Warren get more rest. Carter Warren looked good against Indy. I was kind of shocked that they didn't let.
We went to Max Mitchell instead. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen. Max Mitchell had one good game against the Cleveland Browns. I give him that. I pay homage from this dude. He did, but after that, he didn't do anything. Carter Warren, I think he could have made a big difference in that Miami game. And two, even honestly, that Miami game just had me irate because they ran the same play against us twice. 2 times in a row.
Embarrassing. The screen to Jonnu. Yeah.
Jonnu Smith. And it's just like, wow, bro. And honestly, I felt that when they scored us in the red zone, we shouldn't have went man. We should have went zone because the red zone gets smaller. And you never know, anything could happen. Let's go zone on that because they love to run the rub routes. We know this already about them. And they run short, quick passes. All right, let's zone it. Keep them in front of us so we can avoid the rub routes, and we just got to communicate on the back end. And honestly, this is something else that I was thinking about too.
Okay.
Will McDonald, honestly, Quentin Williams, Quincy, and Jamie. I think honestly, Jamie Sherwood is going to be our linebacker for the future.
I hope so. He's a free agent after this year. Yeah.
We have him. We have to bring him back. That's a must. We have to bring him back.
Okay.
And I don't understand the whole Tony Adams mention. Honestly, Tony Adams. He I'm not going to sit there and say he had the best year, but he's been actually balling. You put him in on the last drive where the guy is not warmed up. He hasn't been running around and he gets beat for a touchdown. God bless you. That's my son.
Oh yeah, oh, nice to meet him. What's his name?
Cassius.
Oh man, nice to meet you, pal. Whoa,
Yeah.
how old is he?
He is 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh! Oh yeah, right. Because we both had our children right around
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
right at
Oh,
the
that's
same time.
crazy. Oh
Yeah,
my
man.
god! Congratulations.
10-pound baby right here.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So
beautiful.
his uncle's going to Penn State come January. He's moving in and
Oh, nice.
he'll be
Future Jets
balling.
draft pick is what you're saying.
Yeah, let's hope. Let's
Okay. All
hope.
right.
I hope,
Nice.
man.
All
I
right.
hope. But
Yeah.
honestly, I like Ulbrich. I'm not, I like Ulbrich. I think maybe he will be a better D coordinator than the head coach. There's nothing wrong
I
with
think
that.
that's for sure. Yeah.
I think he'll be a better defensive coordinator than the head. Let's keep Downings too. Todd Downings, I believe, should have been calling plays from the beginning of the year because you see a difference. See the offense is moving, but we just
Yeah.
got to cash in the red zone. You see it there. Garrett Wilson's getting open constantly. And it's not even just one. Garrett Wilson's always getting open, but Aaron Rodgers, he got to stop locking on to Devontae Adams. You have
Yeah.
somebody else dynamic in Garrett Wilson. Use him. Because one time he missed Garrett Wilson on the street route. Like, he was wide open. It was a walk-in touchdown. Aaron Rodgers would have threw the ball. It was a walk-in touchdown. We win the game.
Yeah, he's missed Garrett again. Garrett's had a really nice year, but boy, Aaron, he's had a really nice year, but he could have had an awesome year if Aaron would have hit him.
Yes, but and I want to run it back with Aaron Rodgers. We have to protect him. I'm not going to sit there and say everything's on him. Mm-hmm. We had to protect him because we protect him. It showed he can make plays. All right, let me get a couple seconds. Let me scan the field real quick, and I'll make the pass. We had to, and I love, like I said, our three-headed attacking Isaiah Davis, Breece Hall, Brand. We have something to be reckoned with. We got to show our O-line. We have to. It's a must. We had to get much bigger on the inside with Vera Tucker and who's the other go? Simpson got to go.
Simpson. Oh, you don't like Simpson?
Yeah, no, I'm not really. I was really a fan of him, honestly, even when he was in Baltimore. Let's bring another young guy in. Okay. I like Tibbet. I love Vera Tucker. Mm-hmm. Fashadu, of course, I like him too. But let's bring somebody else in. Let's show us all lined up and let's run this thing back because we have the team. We have it. We got to sprinkle a little bit of pieces. We get another, and this is why I felt that Leonard Williams should have never been let go because in this system, him and Quentin Williams would have wreaked havoc all year long for years because we know what Leonard Williams can do. He can win one-on-one matchups. He's good against the run, but and the whole I knew John Franklin Myers getting released was going to kill us because he knew how to set the edge. He played the run good. These are guys that we had when we was able to harass Josh Allen, have him turn the ball over multiple times. Like we just can't be getting rid of these guys. We need it, and they're young players. They're not even old. They're young. They're young pieces. So I want to see us running back. We got the potential. We could be a very dangerous team, but we have to get a little younger at certain areas and grow together. That's it. DJ Reed, he could go. He can go. Honestly, he can go. Yeah. I'm just ready to see another. We need another rangy big corner like Sauce Gardner, 6'1", 6'2".
Hey, sure.
Because I honestly wanted us like the year when Sauce and Reed Woolen came in. I wanted us to go get Reed Woolen. I felt that would have been the best duo in the league for years to come. Yeah, because Reed Woolen could do, and he amazingly fast. He could play, press coverage.
Yeah,
it's perfect. Him and Sauce would have played great off each other. But let's see though. Let's hope this regime don't drop the ball because it's a lot of great talent in this draft. It's a lot of very good talent. But I'm trying to think what we're gonna do as far as Jordan Travis.
That's a good question, NYJK. What do we do with Jordan Travis? I didn't love what I heard from the latest on Ritsamini on Jordan Travis and his rehab, but hopefully he could get back healthy. I think that's what's most important. And yes, people, you guys can continue to call in, and clothing is optional. Clothing is absolutely optional. All right, let's go to EZ, where hopefully the clothing is on here. Easy. Oh,
clothing is optional.
Okay, clothing is optional on these call-ins.
That's too funny, man. So, something about what that guy just said.
Yeah, NYJKO.
About a rangy cornerback.
Yep.
I heard that there's this other young stud cornerback who's 6'2", but he has a little bit more ball hawking skills than Sauce. That kid would be an interesting pickup. I'm trying to remember who it was. I've heard it mentioned.
Okay. Well,
I can't
even
remember,
no name,
but
just hearing a rangy corner that can ball hawk. I like whoever that is.
Yeah, I know who he's 6'2".
Okay.
Is
his name Knoble?
No, God, stop that shit. God, I can't go another year of Knoble from college. No.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay.
That was great though. That was funny. But
that was funny in the moment. Yeah. We've got to move on.
It was funny for that year. They even had that shit on ESPN. That was hysterical.
That's terrific. Okay. So whoever that corner is, I like the cut of his jib though. Tall and can cover. That sounds good.
But you know I'm a Rex fan, but I have to tell you, after listening to the guys today on the show, their points being made with Aaron Glenn about maybe if he could get Kevin Mawai here as the offensive line coach. That's what I meant by we need better O-line and D-line coaches. And who can I don't care if we have to poach the guy. I just want to get rid of this Keith Carter guy because he's been a failure everywhere he's been, and he couldn't even coach up all-star linemen. He ruined 2 all-star linemen. He ruined Lakin Tomlinson, and he ruined Tyron Smith. So
yeah, it looks like if this is correct, Kevin Mawai is currently unemployed. He was with the Colts from 2021 to 2022 as an assistant offensive line coach and tight ends coach. He did some college stuff. He was with the Bears like a decade ago, and then he was a head coach for one season. It looks like at Lipscomb Academy, some sort of a private.
You're hired. School. Get on a plane. You're hired.
And that's it. So yeah. So long story short,
get on a plane.
He looks
You're
available.
Hired.
Yeah, he looks available.
And he played with Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, sure.
So
absolutely, that helps.
No, that would be good. Do you think? I would love to put it together make it a Jets squad too. So you think if Aaron Glenn was named head coach and we got Kevin Mawai as offensive line coach, do you think maybe Rex would say, okay, I'll come there and do your defense for you, Aaron? Would that be like almost a dream team?
The only thing is, this is what I don't know. This is above my pay grade.
Aaron would say, Rex, I trust you. I'm handing you the keys to the defense. Just do the defense and help me out when I need a little help. I will name you defensive coordinator and assistant head coach.
Right, there you go. Yeah, what is Aaron Glenn's schematics on defense versus what Rex Ryan does? Can they marry what they do together? You know, yes.
Aaron was a cornerback. I mean, so Rex knows overall defense scheming, blitzing, and stuff. We got Jamie and Sherwood. Wow, has he really played great this year? I mean, he's ready to take over. But I would like to see us draft a 255-pound linebacker to play on the strong side, next to Sherwood, someone, which side of the field has more yardage? Is that considered the strong side?
Yes.
No, I would like a bigger run stuffing strong side guy because wasn't Sherwood playing more of a receiver coverage kind of corner? I mean, linebacker.
I think he was always supposed to. No, I think coming in, what Ulbrich explained this week, I think he was supposed to play strong. He should have been the Sam backer this year for the Jets if C.J. Mosley never gets hurt, and then he ended up having to call plays. So he always had a package for third downs in the nickel.
Gotcha. Because I know Sherwood was designed to be that strong side linebacker that could cover the backs and tight ends coming out because he was a former safety and he's quick and nimble and got good coverage skills. But he's turned into one heck of a linebacker. I mean, he's one heck of a pure linebacker. He's good.
He's a free agent after this year, so we'll have to see if the Jets are able to bring him back. Yeah. Yeah, it'll depend on scheme too. Is the scheme of the next guy coming in to bring him in? Yeah, that'd be nice. I hope so. Easy. I appreciate the call, though, brother. I appreciate the call. All right, let's keep going here. I know we're running out of time, so shout out to Easy Baby for that. All right, let's go to our next couple callers here. Hopefully they're wearing pants, but I don't judge. My father, Paul Eston, joins us here on the show. What's up? Sleeves optional. Okay, you got a different memo there, I see.
Sun's out, guns out. Thank God EZ got the pants on memo with that camera angle.
Yeah, especially the ball angle. I wasn't quite sure if sun's out, buns out, or perhaps more balls out. There could be been a lot of action there. So glad we were covered there.
Yes, fully covered. Thank God. Just two quick items. One is, this whatever they're called, the 33rd
team.
Whatever.
Yeah, the 33rd team. Yep.
Yeah. So I think the Jets need to be aggressive, right? And what I mean by that is they seem to like very similar to the Cowboys. I'll take a shot at the Cowboys myself. The Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb contract, the lingering. Just get it done. And so come up with your idea, with your plan for GM. Come up with you're going to involve the GM. You're going to take his input for the head coach, but the 33rd team should also provide, here's the list of who we think are the head coaches that, and then you work together. But that can happen now, right? They can start being on the front end of these things. And then right after the season, they need to be on the front end. That was my comment about these players, right? The season stops and some of the nuances of the salary cap I'm unfamiliar with. But right, if they wrap up their last game and they go to get on the bus and there's somebody should be standing. What's that guy's name that collects the playbooks at the end?
Turk.
So the Turk is standing at the bus. Aaron, this is not your bus. Yeah, the public bus is over there.
Wow.
Reddick. Actually, we don't even have bus fare for you. But the Uber stand is over there. So they need a clean house, cut bait on the players and move. Don't mess around. They need the best candidate, the right candidate, be aggressive and get them in house.
Yeah, the final game is the first week of January. So that is the final regular season game for the Jets.
And some of these general manager and head coaching candidates are not off limits right now. And if those are your top candidates, let's go.
Yeah, that's what someone's asking. We'll mix in that with your call here. Microfox said, why aren't they interviewing people who are available now? So certain people they are. We'll maybe do another show on this at some point this week. We'll squeeze it in. John Robinson, he was most recently the Tennessee Titans general manager. He's unemployed by the NFL. So he is someone, for instance, the Jets could interview right now. Rex Ryan is someone they could interview right now. John Gruden is someone they could interview right now. All of those guys. However, anyone with any NFL ties whatsoever, including Vrabel, who's just even a consultant with the Browns, he's off limits until after the season. And then there's all these rules for you could do a round of Zoom sessions, then in person, and all this other hoopla. Like I said, it's a little easier for general managers. They don't have all those Zoom in-person restrictions. As soon as the season's over, the Jets can basically go crazy on any general manager candidate that has ties to NFL teams currently.
Right. They need to be aggressive. And it doesn't, it needs to be the right candidate, right? And, obviously Ulbrich is not there, and he will be recycled, like I said previously. But, the defense under his regime has, in the past couple of years has not been stellar, and it is, I'm not sure. He might have to take some time off. But, be aggressive, be on the front end. No to Aaron Rodgers. No to Hassan Reddick.
Oh, wait, the 300-yard game didn't do it for you for Aaron against Miami? Huh? First one in 3 years?
Once every 35 games, right? Nice. Right. Yes. No. All those other games I remember. All the other games where he looked confused, bumbling, stumbling, rumbling, and it wasn't in most cases the offensive line. He wasn't throwing the ball more than 20 yards down the field for multiple. It was like almost a 4 or 5 pack of games where he didn't throw the ball down the field. It was it's over, right? And it's not tip of the cap, Hall of Famer. Who knows what last year would have looked like? A year's time frame I'm not discounting that. We will never know what could have been, right? It was very motivating coming out of the tunnel, right? That is some of the best footage, right? I can't imagine. We were there for the Jets Patriots. Can you imagine if you were there when he ran on the field with the flag and then, the subsequent happened? So what would have been last year, unfortunately, we'll never know. But we know what is this year, and we can forecast next year. And so, sorry, it's time to move on. And there's already starting to be subtle declines. If you see what he's saying on the Pat McAfee show, and he's starting to unravel a little bit. Some of the real, he's coming out of the darkness more fully now, and I just think it's time to move on. I wish he hadn't gotten hurt. I thought I forecasted a 12-5 record this year and in the playoffs. In the top, winning the division, maybe not the top seed, but it didn't happen. And the main reason it didn't happen is Aaron Rodgers. Father time catching up with him. It's just life. So best of luck to him. I imagine he'll have a job somewhere. He used to do those commercials. Maybe he can be was it Planet Fitness? He can be the guy handing out the towels and checking passes in Planet Fitness.
Yeah, that's a job. Somebody needs to fill it. Those towels aren't going to hand themselves out.
Right? Maybe he can hand out shirts to some of your callers or pants, towels, whatever it takes. All right.
Pop. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Just by the way, Saturday we'll be live from South Carolina, and we'll have a very brief guest appearance by your eldest brother.
Oh, nice! I can't wait. The holiday season, beautiful. Can't wait. It's going to be a doozy on Saturday. I'm sure we'll have plenty to discuss. Pop, thanks as always for taking advantage of the phone calls.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Have a great day.
There he is. Pop, yes, have a great day. All right, let's go to more clothing optional callers. Again, we got 600 people in the room now. Like the video, hit subscribe. We're back to Johnny Boy here on the show. What's up, Johnny?
Hey, what's going on, brother? Hey, so since we're just gonna be hiring all ex-Jets players,
apparently,
right?
Yeah.
So GM, might as well get Marty Lyons on over there.
Ooh, nice.
Right,
okay.
Head coach, let's go ahead and get Aaron Glenn.
Ooh.
DC, Jim Leonard.
Nice.
Coordinator Ray Lucas.
Ooh,
right?
That's good.
Special
call.
teams
nice.
Coordinator Leon Washington.
Nice.
Kevin McGuire, of course, offensive line coach. Anthony Beck, tight ends coach.
Yep.
Hey, I mean, why not, bro?
Get the band back together, baby. Nice.
Let's do it. Bart Scott, linebacking coach.
He's available.
Yeah. I mean, Darrell Revis, CB coach. Let's do it. Why not? Hey, Woody
Chad Pennington too. Microfox. Yeah, don't forget Chad Pennington. I'd love for him to come back. Yeah, hey man.
Yeah, him too as QB coach. I mean, why not? Let's bring the band back. We've had success with them in the past, and here we go, man. That's how we save the Jets. BG, your platform has saved the Jets. It is the only way to do it.
I've been told. Yeah.
I don't want to go back kind of to what you were saying. The Aaron Glenn one is interesting and stuff like that, kind of to what Ricky was talking about. So I could see that in regards to that. But other than that, man, I don't want to go back, like you said earlier, with the girlfriend and texting that, at 2:00 in the morning, what you doing? ? Type of thing. And
you up? Like I don't know. I just feel like we've done that train, and that train left the station some time ago. It feels,
And very much in agreement with Ricky in regards of the first time head coaching, stuff like that. For myself, I don't feel like that should be a hinder on the position of a head coach. And all that. I understand. I want somebody that's very cocky of himself to be my head coach and stuff like that because of the New York media and itself. Like, you need somebody that's up there that's gonna be put them in their place and stuff like that. We had those coaches before in the past that knew how to navigate the New York media instead of having the robotic stuff that we've had with Saleh and Ulbrich now as well. But I wanted to come up here because I wanted to ask you more about coordinators, right, that are out there and the positions that are going to be needing to be filled. One of the ones that's very intriguing to me, and he is an ex-Jet, and what he's done over there in Denver is Jim Leonard. Right. So wanted to get your thoughts on the coordinators and things like that. But yeah, man. So let's just get the band back together, bro. And JETS, Jets all the way, man. Appreciate you, BG.
Love it, Johnny. Thanks for the call, brother. In terms of potential coordinators, it's all kind of associated with who the head coaching candidates are. For instance, if you go the Vrabel route, obviously he's got his former Patriot ties, he's got his Tennessee Titans ties. Those are all, and his current Cleveland ties, which could give you a little bit of an interesting dark horse wild card potentially for that water. Jim Leonard's always been a smart guy. His current title, I know he's not the DC over there. He is the or I didn't think so anyway. Let me see. Jim Leonard is DB coach and passing game coordinator. So, yeah, obviously, if the Jets offered him a promotion, he could be DC here. His kind of run was he was a DB coach at Wisconsin. He started his coach career in 2016. He was a DC and DB coach from 2017 to 2022 with Wisconsin as the defense coordinator. Interim head coach temporarily. Illinois senior football analyst, and then with the Broncos, most recently DB coach, passing game coordinator. I'd be intrigued with him. A super smart player when he played. I'd love him as a DC opportunity. Again, don't know what his ties would be to Aaron Glenn, potentially. I guess we'd have to kind of go back because they didn't cross over, it looks like. Leonard may have been with the Jets when Glenn was a scout, so I guess that's possible for that run over, but they don't always have to be connected, long story short. But yeah, I am intrigued. What we'll try to do is when we bring up future candidates on the list, we'll try to make sure we pair them with coordinators that make sense. By the way, guys, we're going to be back on live at 3 o'clock because guess who's going to join us? NFL Films, Ken Rogers. He is the co-director of ESPN's latest 30 for 30 film, The New York Sack Exchange. And you know that viral video we talked about of the confrontation between Mark Gastineau and Brett Favre? Ken Rogers was there when that happened. We're going to be speaking with him to preview the documentary, which I believe is dropping tomorrow. Let me make sure I got my bells and whistles in front of me here. I do believe that is tomorrow evening. Yeah, today's Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow evening, the 30 for 30 drops, and we will be previewing that. Again, the New York Sack Exchange. Ken Rogers was there. We'll talk to him about that. We'll talk to him about the entire documentary and get all kinds of fascinating questions. And again, that's coming up with Ken Rogers, myself, James Woody, Ken Rogers of NFL Films, and he's the co-director of this 30 for 30 for the New York Sack Exchange, all coming up at 3 o'clock, baby. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Like the video, hit subscribe. We got over 600 people in the room. And again, make sure you guys continue to submit those raffles, which will either come in the way of super chats or gifted channel memberships to have a chance to win a bunch of New York Jets merch. It's our way to give back to you, the fans. So again, if you have at least one ticket to the dance, but obviously the more you do, the more opportunities you have, baby. God bless. We'll see you at 3 o'clock. Take care.